Hey guys, well, I didn't really want to give up on that set of woodworking tools I got off eBay for half nothing. So I thought just for fun I'd see what could be done with them. So the first thing I thought I'd do is see if they'll take an edge, if you can sharpen them properly and get them to work. And so this is the simplest one, obviously, which is a simple chisel. And the good news is it does take an edge quite well. Hones up nicely and cuts quite nicely. No tearing of fibers and stuff. You can probably tell here that this is way off square. And that's kind of my fault. It's not. I hadn't trued up the honing wheel for quite a while, and it actually was way off. Larger diameter here going into smaller diameter out there, so I guess I tend to lean on it this way when I'm using it. Anyway, the upshot is for something like this, it cut it slightly off square, but it's no biggie. I can always do that later. So I had a go at one of the gouges, and the good news is that one took an edge quite well as well. Now this one is not finished because the angle on this out of the box was something like 45 degrees, which is useless. Based on my reading up on what the angle ought to be for a gouge like this for carving, it should be more like between 17 and 20 degrees. 17 closer for the softwoods and 20 for the harder. So it's actually at 30 now, because to grind off that amount of metal just with the honing, with the sharpening stone, it just takes forever. So I need to get a grinder if I want to do anything else. I did have an initial attempt at trying to tidy up the surface here. So this side is from the factory, and this side over here I just spent a little while. You can see some of the blue is still left because the depressions are quite deep, so it's going to need again a grinding wheel or whatever. And as it turned out, I do have a bench grinder. It is somewhere here in the workshop. I haven't used it in years and years and years, but I'll dig it out, and yeah, I'll, for any of these guys that will take an edge and seem to cut properly, then I'll try and make them look halfway decent as well. So we're not finished with these guys yet, but the amount of work to get them to where they're going to be minimum usable is way disproportionate to the cost. But anyway, there you go. Since I have the gear, we'll spend some time on it. So more to come on this lot. And yeah, it's probably a folly doing it, but I'm retired now, so I have all the time I need for such follies. So more to come on these guys for sure.